Next, from Chicago, Governor Rauner holds a press conference announcing new policies to help Illinois' youth, as well as commenting on the progress of current budget negotiations. This runs about 10 minutes.
We've picked out 3 initial projects to focus on for our children and youth. One is to reduce the lead levels and lead exposure for the children around the state of Illinois. It's a huge problem. It's one of the major health issues of our state for our young people, and we're going to address that comprehensively and strategically. The second initiative we're focusing on is improving the quality of training and professional development for those who work in early childhood education and early childhood development. We want to make sure that all of our young people, especially our children growing up in poverty, or growing up in disadvantaged situations, have an opportunity to learn while they're young before they get into kindergarten or in first grade. And in their child care and in their other environments, they have a nurturing, learning environment. And we need to make sure that people who work in early childhood education are highly trained and well qualified. And we're pursuing that today as well in a second project. And then the third and final project we're focused on is significantly expanding apprenticeships and apprentice programs and training around the state of Illinois. We need to make sure our young people are trained while they're still in high school and while they're coming out of high school, trained for the jobs that are available in today's economy so they can get good paying careers, not minimum wage jobs, but good paying careers early on in their lives. And that's what this apprenticeship effort that we have underway. I will also say one other thing. Yesterday was an important day for the people of Illinois. Yesterday I signed the bills to make sure we keep energy diversity in Illinois, and we have our 2 nuclear power plants operated by Exelon continuing to open and stay open and operate. This is important to make sure that energy costs stay reasonable and stay competitive. It's one of the competitive advantages that we have in Illinois, and it's also critical to preserving thousands of good-paying jobs in our communities in Northwest Illinois and in Central Illinois. Very happy to sign that bill. What I'll say is that bill shows what we can do when we come together and compromise on a bipartisan basis. That bill is a difficult bill to get done. Many competing interests, many conflicting points of view. We worked on it. Frankly, that bill is in process for 2 years. It required everybody to make some sacrifice. Nobody got exactly what they wanted. It was a difficult bill, but we got it done. We preserved jobs. We're now able to grow more jobs. We protected communities. We protected working families. We protected and kept the cost of living in Illinois reasonable. This is a good, solid compromise. And I hope we can take the bill we signed yesterday that was supported by Democrats and Republicans in the General Assembly and supported by me and our administration. We can take the success of yesterday and use it to be a foundation to get success now for balanced budget with reforms. We need truly balanced budget with reforms to grow more jobs, with reforms to lower our property tax burden, with reforms to improve our schools, and reform our government through term limits. And that's what we're pushing for, and we will advocate for every day. Now,
what'd you think of ASME finding a judge to block bonuses for state employees, including your senior staff?
They did, that's a good word for it. They did find a judge. It's very unfortunate for, I think, the state employees, and I think it's unfortunate for the people of Illinois. We should go forward now. We have an agreed-on process. The Labor Board has ruled that we are at impasse. We should go forward with our contract proposal as we laid it out. It's good for the state employees. It's good for the taxpayers. It's good for the people of Illinois. Every day that we delay through these court actions costs the people of Illinois almost $3 million per day. Every day. Think of how much we could do for our children in poverty. Think how much we could do for our schools and our human services if we weren't wasting almost $3 million a day with the delays on this contract. The contract terms are the same as we've agreed with 18 other unions. It has merit pay for good performance, so our state employees can actually make more money. It puts in a 40-hour work week, a novel idea in state government. You know, taxpayers work a 40-hour week. State employees should work a 40-hour week. We should also go forward with our task forces for workplace health and workplace safety. This bill is a good bill. We also put in a bereavement so that, heaven forbid, if one of our state employees loses a family member, they can take time to be with the family and be protected in their job and their pay. This contract is good. We should go forward with it.
Governor, given the apparent lack of movement so far, what happens on January 1st, given that you're going to have some continual or some supplemental or stopgap budgets expiring?
Well, you know, everything has its own pace and time. The good news is there's cash flow and there's continuing operations. But time is of the essence. Craig, to your point, we shouldn't be delaying anymore. No more stalling. I'm very frustrated. We should have this done. We should be meeting today. But the folks on the Democratic caucus leaders said they're not ready to talk about the budget, so we're waiting. We're standing ready to meet with them anytime to get a balanced budget with reforms. And the reforms should focus on 4 things: more jobs, lower property taxes, better schools, and term limits. And if the stalling continues, as it has now for a long time, if the stalling continues, I will insist, and I want to be crystal clear, I will insist that at a minimum, term limits and a property tax freeze are part of any stopgap before I would accept that.
Governor,
What
Yes.
exactly are you asking that they come prepared with?
To talk about appropriation levels. So they weren't ready. They said they needed to meet more with the caucus. See, there's a lot of stalling going on, and what we've got to do is just focus like a laser on getting a balanced budget with reforms so that protect our taxpayers and grow jobs.
Last question.
I'm wondering about Betsy DeVos and your relationship with her. I know what you think about Trump picking her as the Secretary of Education, what your relationship with her has been, and where you're hoping to see federal policy on that bill.
Well, I don't want to talk too much about that. It's very early in their development of their administration. I do know Betsy DeVos. I have great respect for her. I think she's very talented and very passionate education advocate. And I personally am a believer in school choice. And I look forward to working together.